All right, welcome to another edition of Niners Radio 49, 49ers Live tonight. Professor B on here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios in San Francisco. To get you ready for 49ers and Rams this week. Niners putting behind that disappointing loss last Sunday at home against the Carolina or the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars pick up their first ever victory in the Bay out here on the West Coast in the Bay Area against San Francisco. So the Niners are now focusing in on the Rams, a big showdown for first place in the NFC West. So right now we're gonna start it off with Kyle Shanahan's presser. Him and Robert Sala's going to talk, and then after that it will be Brian Robbins, and then it will be Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. They're going to come to the podium, and then it's going to be Brian Robinson Jr. It's Siegel, McCaffrey, Warner. A short week getting ready for the Rams. So a lot more. Niners getting right back to work. No rest for the worry on this short week. 49ers and the Rams coming up on Thursday Night Football. And the kickoff time will be at 5:15. You can catch the game on Amazon Prime. And we're gonna without further ado, we're gonna start off with Kyle Shanahan's presser, the injury report, and we're going to do that right now.
All right, guys. Injuries for today. Ricky Purcell, knee, won't practice. Jordan Watkins, calf, won't practice. CJ West, thumb, won't practice. Robert Beal, ankle, won't practice. Purdy, toe, won't practice. Juwan Jennings, ankle slash ribs, won't practice. Tour, knee, limited. Renardo, neck, limited. D. Winters, knee, limited. Mikael Williams, wrist oblique, limited. That's it. Go ahead.
Do any of those guys you mentioned, or have you ruled any of those players out from playing?
Yeah, no.
What has Brock's progress, if any, been since we last talked to you?
Not much. That was yesterday. So,
So is Mac totally off the injury list now?
yeah.
How was that with Mikael Williams' wrist? I mean, he went to the locker room early in that game with it, but how's that hindered him, or is it hinder him at all?
Sure does some. I mean, it's painful, especially a position you play with your hands all the time. He's been dealing with it, and he's been battling through it.
First time facing the Rams with Adams and Nakua. What kind of challenge those guys present as a tandem? What have you seen on film so far?
Just those two great receivers with an unbelievable quarterback, so huge challenge. Just like when they had Puka and Cup going. I mean, huge challenge, especially paired with Stafford. Two of the best hands in the league with Puka and Devontae, and the separation ability, how they can cut, how aggressive they are in their routes. I mean, they're as good as it gets.
How Rams added Poona Ford to their D-line. How has he changed what they look like up front?
Hasn't changed what they look like, just added another one. He's a hell of a player. We've looked at him a number of different times. Does really good in the run game, also is effective in the pass game, but just add another real good player to that group, which allows them to rotate them a lot more and keep them fresher.
Obviously, Stout won't be on Nakua the whole game, but what about Nakua makes it such a challenging assignment for a nickel?
How big and physical he is, how good his hands are, and how aggressive he plays, tied with how big he is. He's full speed all the time, running through people, attacking edges, and the same way he runs through that football and catches it.
Will the decision to play Brock come down to pain tolerance?
No, it'll come down to, do we feel he could play and to 100% of his ability, and do we feel that he can protect himself with it?
John said on the radio this morning that he thought that perhaps the second quarter scramble by Brock affected him, bothered him, I think was his the words he used. Was that part of what Brock was told to do to try to avoid scrambling as much as possible in that game?
No, he wasn't told that. They said, it was my first time dealing with people with a toe injury like that. I was trying to ask if it was like a high ankle sprain, like is it something you just keep zinging over and over? They said, no, it's not like that. If you ever got caught in an awkward position on a tackle, is where you could hurt your toe again. But it doesn't work like an ankle or anything like that. And I think they got him on that when they took him down. So whether it's scrambling or just getting tackled was kind of the worry of it.
Christian went on George's show this week, and he said that at that deadline where you acquired him, he thought he was going to be traded to the Rams. Had that happened, one, how painful would that have been for you? And did you realize the Rams were in the mix for him?
We heard they were in it. Yeah. So, you hear a lot of things when you're dealing with trades. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not. People always do it left and right, usually trying to get a few more picks out of it and stuff. So, I guess it was true, but glad he ended up here.
We've had a lot of success, it seems like, with the dirty kickoffs. What's the challenge of dealing with those?
Just how hard they are to catch. I think I want to say they've had 23 kickoffs and 21 of them have been dirty balls. They're number 2 in the league. The other team is number 1, Carolina. They've been great at kicking those dirty balls too. So anytime you can't catch it clean, the timing of just how you block and everything's off. So those guys get back there a lot faster. And when the timing's off like that and you don't know where the runner is tied to the blockers, also a lot more penalties happen too with holdings and stuff. So the dirty ball is a huge part of this game with the new kickoffs. It's not an easy thing to do for everybody.
You guys looking to using the dirty ball more often on your kicks, or what's?
You always look into it. Every team does. But the issue is if that ball comes up short of the 20, if it goes out of bounds, there's a lot. It's not really easy to always do a dirty ball. You just miss a little bit and it's out of bounds or short, or you kick a touchback like that, and that's real risky too. So, I think you guys you saw that with Arizona last Thursday night. So there's a lot of risky things to it.
After the game, Christian said in a lot of ways that the team is like right there. They're just really close to doing everything that you should do out there on the field, especially in the run game. He says you guys are right there. When you look back at the tape from the game, did you see the same thing? Like we're right there, we're just missing a step here or a step there, or what is it?
Yeah, I see that. You'd have to watch all 20 of the clips to do it, but that's usually how the run game is. You got to break some big ones, and when you don't break any, we had about 3 opportunities too, and a lot of people are involved in that, but and we got to stick with it more by being in some different games to get more opportunities of that. But it's nothing, no one quick thing. It's everyone still going to work. 11 guys blocking, 11 guys getting after it, and doing better on other downs also.
You're so diligent usually, or on a normal week, about immediately correcting all the mistakes that you made in the game you just had before you move on. Does that not happen this week?
No, we don't have time to. We watch it all as coaches and stuff, but we don't review it today. We came here and it was Wednesday morning, and I think it's already Thursday for us. And by the end of today, it's Friday, and tomorrow's Saturday. So we got to get going, but we'll get to it eventually.
You just assume that guys are doing it on their own?
Position coaches will do it with guys. They won't sit and review the whole game, but they'll review specific things that we got to change or we got to get fixed. When it's, you're not going to review a guy dropping a ball or something like that, but when someone's having a missed assignment or doing something wrong, those are things you definitely get corrected.
How concerned are you with this offense that you haven't scored a rushing touchdown so far?
I get concerned with scoring points. I don't really care how we do it, so I'd like to score more points. And if you score a lot of points and they're all passing, I don't care. If you score a lot of points and they're all rushing, I don't care. I just want to score points.
It's pretty rare for your team to play 4 or 5 on the road so early in the season. And I know you're focused on this game, but in terms of how challenging is this block of games coming up?
I'm not sure. I don't even know who we have after the Rams. So I know we got 3 days off to think about that. But it is what it is. It's always challenging when you have more on the road, but that means you get more at home later at some time. So it's all how the schedule goes out and the healthier team when you're doing it and stuff like that. And could be a disadvantage, it could end up being an advantage. So don't look too much into it.
Pretty important question. What NFL coaches do you think could beat up Robert Saleh?
Just me. That's about it.
What about Dan Campbell?
Yeah, I would probably bet on Dan over a lot of people. Saleh's too nice usually. but it seemed like someone struck a chord later. I mean, the other day, but I don't think there's any fights going on. It was kind of comical now to look back at it.
You said previously that you thought CJ West could play with a cast on his thumb. Did that change after the surgery?
No, it's something that we're looking into and still considering this week. So that's why we haven't ruled him out. That's stuff he's experimenting with right now.
That's us. All right, guys.
Thanks.
What's up, guys?
Robert, can you kind of take us through from your comments Thursday and how that may or may not have been misinterpreted by the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach?
No, it's all good. Whatever happened on Sunday doesn't change how I feel. You know, like I in my heart genuinely was trying to give a compliment, and yeah, I own the fact that I probably used it was a wrong choice of words, but however you want to word it, I mean they're really, really good at putting their players in position to be successful. You know, as coaches, we're always chasing leverage. They're trying to have winning leverage. We're trying to take leverage away. And everyone in the league is trying to find every avenue they can. And as a coach, watching their tape, I recognize the amount of hours that must be spent to be able to build formations and to find every little indicator they can to give their players a chance to be in a successful position. It's exhausting, and every team does it. Some do it better than others, and it was my way of acknowledging that these guys are really, really, really good at it. And you know, so, and like I said, Sunday doesn't change that. I think Liam's doing a hell of a job. I really do. You can tell that team is really taking on his personality, and you know, I hope they came out of the game healthy, and I wish them the best of luck throughout the rest of the season. But you know, I wish I could have found a better choice of words, but my intent was always to compliment that staff.
Have you reached out in the aftermath to the other one?
No.
Your intent after the game to seek him out and sort of explain to him what you just explained?
The intent was to say exactly what I just said, that, you know, I think he's doing a really nice job, which I do. That football team is playing and taking on his personality. They're playing violently on the offensive line, and their running backs are running really hard. And I think they're doing a really, really nice job. And I just wanted to let him know that I appreciate the way he's going about his business with his football team.
Robert, you are universally regarded as a gentle giant. I mean, people that have been around you for a long time have never really seen him mad. I mean, does it take quite a bit to get you to say, I don't know, whatever may have been said?
I don't know. Everyone has a trigger, I guess.
Speaking of sign stealing, how's Sean McVay doing in that department this year?
No, you know, it's the same thing. Those guys that they do, like Sean, Kyle, Kevin O'Connell, all those guys, they do such a great job through formation identification, building formations, and putting their players in position to gain leverage. And you know, it's all the same thing. These guys are the best in the world at it, and that's why this tree keeps on growing and growing and growing. That's very, very hard to defend, and Sean's no exception. These guys are phenomenal at. I mean, you think it's easy. Well, just defend Puka. Well, shoot, they're always finding ways to put Puka in different spots to create leverage. Okay, then you got to deal with Devontae. Well, just double both of them. Well, then shoot, they got other guys, and they still manage to find ways to put those guys in winning leverage, and they do it with great film study and understanding football and understanding defenses and understanding body language and just trying to find every nugget they can to help their team be in great position, and that's what I was trying to articulate. And obviously, I did a poor job with the word. I mean, if I said the word film study, I don't think we're really talking about this. But I used signal stealing, and so I was so adamant about legally, I was just struggling for a word. But for Sean, same thing. I mean, these guys are the best in the world at it, and that's why they are where they are.
Just to clarify, did you not mean sign stealing? You're talking about specifically game planning and studying?
Yeah, it's all in. Yeah. No, I had a bad choice of words. So.
Robert, on the Fred Warner forced fumble, the ball was on the ground. Brian Baldinger said that your defensive linemen were loafing after it. You saw the play. What did you think?
No, you know what? You could pick out any play and and try to pinpoint different things. But we're always going to strive for tremendous effort. Our D-line can always be better. I can make an excuse for him on that particular play with the game we were running. We're running a game to our defensive left. The ball came out to our defensive right. They're spinning out, trying to find and locate the football, and their guys had a head start on it. So, but I'll never question the effort of this football team. Our guys are relentless to the ball. We get 11 hats in the screen at about 90% of the time. So, if that's a problem to some, it's not a problem in here.
Robert, what was your assessment of the pass rush on Sunday?
I thought Jacksonville did a really nice job kind of negating our ability to rush the passer. They got rid of the ball elitely fast. They stayed ahead of the chains. The one that the young rookie caught, the 28-yarder on 3rd and 15, they came out in no huddle, caught us in a miscommunication, and which extended a drive. But overall, I thought we were really good on 3rd down. I thought we did some good things overall, but obviously it wasn't good enough.
Robert, you weren't here for 7 of these games, but this franchise tied an NFL record with 11 straight games without an interception. I mean, it seems like it could be a little fluky, but is there anything that you can point to, like, if this is what we're doing wrong, or is it just kind of their chance?
Yeah, we had opportunities on Sunday. Fred had a couple of ops. I think Upton made a hell of a play to get an interception. I can see what the refs saw, but there was a hell of a lot more going on throughout the game than just that. They'll come. We've had opportunities against Seattle. We were that close on a few. Against New Orleans, same thing. Arizona, I think we had a couple of shots at the ball. It's just they'll come. Sometimes it happens that way.
You mentioned Devontae. How are he and Puka working off each other, and how that's a tough challenge for you guys to prepare for?
Yeah, they're incredibly tough. Sean, like I said, he's got 2 guys, and he'll put them everywhere. He'll put them together. He'll put them opposite. And they find ways to put them in positions where they're leveraged. And so I think it starts with the coaching staff and finding ways to utilize both to make sure that they're both viable targets on each down, and they're doing a great job. They do a great job at the line of scrimmage, getting off, and they do a great job at the top of the routes, creating separation. And they're big, strong, easy targets for the quarterback to get the ball to, and elitely efficient in terms of when they do get the ball in their hands, getting vertical and eating up yards.
Barrows, go ahead.
What does Nick Martin need to do to get in uniform to play?
He's got to dominate special teams first, and right now D Winters is playing at an extremely high level, and the guys after D and Fred are outpacing him on special teams, and for Nick, he's going to be fine. He is. He needs reps, but he's got to earn those reps, and he's working hard at it. He is, but you're talking about guys who have been in this league for a while, between Giff and Curtis, guys who know the game and know how to play special teams and know how to be pros week in and week out. Not that he's not being a pro, talking about Nick, but they're just a little bit ahead of him right now in that regard.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, so that was Robert Saleh talking about what happened with him and Coach Liam Cohn after on Sunday. It was I think maybe it was blown out of proportion, but I think Robert Saleh is trying to be a good sport, and talking about how the Niners gonna attack in this important game coming up when they play the LA Rams for an important, very important divisional game. The Niners sit there and the Rams both tied at 3-1, tied for first place in the NFC West, and they'll play the tomorrow or Thursday night for Thursday night football down at SoFi Stadium, and the kickoff time will be at 5:15, and that will be on Amazon Prime. And we are going to take a quick time. We're going to take a time out. When we get back, we will hear from Brock Purdy and so much more. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios here in San Francisco. You are watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 49ers Live tonight, Professor B. We're here on this Tuesday night. Get you ready. 49ers will be taking on the LA Rams for Thursday night football. And again, the kickoff time will be at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Thursday night. and be on Amazon Prime. Right now, we're going to go back, and this is the video feed courtesy from 49ers.com. It will be Brock Purdy and Mac Jones talking about their health situation and the plan against the Rams. We're going to send it back. This was earlier in the day. Video courtesy of 49ers.com. So we're going to send it back out there. Right now, it's Brock Purdy, Mac Jones at the podium. And it begins right now. Hold on. Let me.
Brock, how do you feel physically compared to how you felt after the week 1 game?
Yeah, no, I feel a lot better compared to the week 1 game for sure. Toes just a little sore from the game, but nowhere near as bad as after Seattle. So
We're in the same area.
Yep.
It's just what you expect to have a certain level of soreness coming back and playing on it on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we talked about. Playing might lead to some soreness and stuff. So sort of expected it, but with the quick turnaround Thursday night game and everything, it's tougher. I don't have as many days to get right and heal up and feel better. So it's just where we're at.
Do you think the soreness came from 66 snaps or from specific plays like the scramble that you had?
I think just an accumulation of a bunch of different plays and movements, and it's the NFL. It's a violent game, and you got to be explosive in some certain situations, and so I think just playing a game in general, and then feeling it the next day. So.
Brock, hindsight's obviously 2020, but I mean, would it have been better to give yourself another week?
I mean, I was ready to go. I felt pretty good, and for me to go out and execute an offense and go through reads and throw the ball like throughout the week at practice, I felt great, and so I had a lot of confidence going into the game, thinking that was going to be good. So that was our decision, and we're rolling with it.
You said you were going to be real honest with yourself watching the film about the toe impacting the high throws. What do you think now that you've seen it?
I mean, still, I don't really know. I missed the throws on film and everything, but is it something that it had to do with my toe and whatnot? I couldn't tell you at this point. I'm still trying to get better and feel good with my toe and everything, but I think down the road after I feel 100% and good to go, and start throwing the ball, maybe I can come back and answer that question. But right now, I still don't know.
Brock, you faced this Rams front before, so whether it's you or Mac, just what kind of challenge awaits down there?
Yeah, I mean, very talented. Feel like they got some young guys, man, that are just playing passionate right now and are disruptive across the board. And their scheme as a whole is really good. And I feel like they're really comfortable playing with each other right now. And so as a whole, it's gonna be a great challenge for us. We got to have answers and not obviously hold on to the ball too long, get the ball out, and be smart with it. And at the end of the day, understand we're playing against a really good pass rush and got to find ways to win still. So, but we respect them a lot.
Does the playing surface factor in at all to your decision to play? Do you just get it, playing?
No.
Robinson, he had a great summer. What did you think of him throwing to him this summer?
Yeah, I thought, he's awesome, man. Very smart and great hands. He's reliable, can run any kind of route that we ask. And so he's been in so many different kind of situations and offenses. And so for us to be able to add him, man, was huge. And so for him to go back and play the Rams, I'm sure he's going to, be on a good one and ready for these guys, but I'm excited to watch him.
Would you say not practicing today makes it more doubtful to play on Thursday?
Honestly, Thursday night football games are, they come quick, so anything can happen, but I'm still hopeful that I can, so we'll see.
Look at it from a distance, and you obviously are not in the building, but look at it and say, you have a few extra days after the Thursday game. It's almost like a little mini bye. Like maybe you should not play this game and then have all that extra time. But you don't look at it that way, do you? If you're cleared, you're going.
Yeah, 100%. If I can play this game, I'm going to play. And, obviously, I want to get right and get healthy and everything. So, but we need to win this game against the Rams. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Say that if the game were tonight, you wouldn't feel ready to go.
Tonight, no, but I have 2 days. So.
You mentioned the passion of the Rams defensive line. Some of your teammates have commented also about just the way they play. I guess, how does that come through?
You said again?
You mentioned the passion that the defensive line, the Rams defensive line plays with. A couple of your teammates have mentioned kind of the same thing. Like, how does that come through? Like, just their, I don't know, spirit or whatever it is.
I mean, just film study and what they're putting on tape. The way that they play, and man, they're disruptive. They're pushing back the offensive linemen, multiple yards, and they have all these different kind of sacks and stopping the run behind the line of scrimmage. Like, you could just tell they're disruptive and passionate, young and strong, and so you could feel them on tape. So that's just the reality of it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, how y'all doing? Good.
We need to turn for you physically last week from limited to being cleared and ready to go Sunday if needed.
Really just like I talked about, just day by day getting better. And at the end of the day, you just have to ask yourself if you can protect yourself in the game, and felt good to go. So obviously every week guys are dealing with stuff, and it's an everyday battle. So you're just working through it.
Did your approach change at all this week, or?
No, I've had a few of these Thursday night deals before, and it happens fast. So that's all I know, and really you just got to stick to your rules. And it's a quick week. You kind of just go out there and, like fall camp, you just play the game, and each day is a new practice during fall camp. So that's kind of how we view it. It's very quick, and turnaround's quick. So that's how I'm approaching it.
Film in a Thursday situation, and what do you think of the Rams on film?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you watch and get as much in as you can, but like I said, you kind of go out there and just play ball. But they're really good. They're, in my opinion, the number one defense in the NFL after watching them. I know statistically they're pretty high, but I'm really been impressed with them. So it's going to be a huge challenge, and yeah, they do a lot of good stuff.
I know you say you're going to prepare like a starter every week. How difficult is it? Are there challenges? Because like the last month here, it's kind of been, you don't know which way it's going to go every week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I say, that's your job as a backup, and you're not playing the first snap if you're backing up, and then everything else is fair game. So I definitely approach it that way. I have a good system that I believe in, and the coaches definitely have us ready to play. So that's your job as a quarterback, and whether you're a starter or backup.
Have there been things along the way, just even in the last month, that you've kind of tweaked to knowing that it is going to go either way kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's just day to day, just attacking each day, honestly. None of that outside noise and things like that don't affect me. So I just go through my process, and I know that it gives me a chance on Sunday. That's all you can ask.
When you say that, in your opinion, they're the number one defense in the league, what do you see that really jumps out to you?
I think just the way they play, their mindset. There's always 11 guys on the screen, and they have a great defensive line. They played a lot of different schemes. They do a lot of stuff, but do it well. So it's going to be a challenge, and been impressed with them. So can't wait to go against them.
When the game was clinched and Eddie kicked the game winner, you embraced Martinez, and you seemed really emotional in that moment. What was behind that emotion there?
Felt like a long time ago, so definitely enjoyed it. But I'm looking forward to, going against the team this week. And every win you can get in the NFL is emotional and important. So I understand that. We all understand that, and that's the goal we're trying to do this week.
You did your brace during the game, and then you put it back on in that game. Where are you now as far as playing with the knee brace?
I'll probably have it on.
Good?
All right, thanks.
All right, that is Brock Purdy and Mac Jones talking about their preparations for the 49ers and the Rams, and how they're going to go at it. The Rams are having a really good defense. Just a reminder, tomorrow, even though it's going to be a walkthrough day, we will have another 49ers Live segment tomorrow. We are going to have probably like an early real condensed early version tomorrow. It will the Niners and Rams on Thursday night. The pregame show will be at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock Pacific, and they'll be on NFL Network or be on the Amazon Prime. And by the way, I didn't know nothing about this yesterday. Yesterday it was announced, and I didn't know nothing. I just got until I just got word now. Um, the Niners will play. A reminder: the 49ers Tampa Bay Buccaneers game originally scheduled for 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock our time, and about trying to think, and a little more than less than 2 weeks time for October the 12th, originally scheduled for 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. our time. Well, got some good news for Niner fans. That game will now be switched from 1 o'clock East, from 10 a.m. our time to 4:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a late window game, not 10 a.m. That game will be at 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October the 12th, when the 49ers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium, meaning originally the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints, who are combined 2-6. The Patriots are 2-1. The Saints are 0-4 in a complete rebuilding. The Patriots, the NFL's most successful franchise in this century, has been got knocked out of that 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 our time. That change, however, is likely to do with their Week 6 opponent than it has more of the state of the Patriots. At 0-4, the Saints are certainly a team that's in the middle of a rebuilding season under first-year head coach Kellen Moore. Through the first 4 games, the Saints had been outscored by nearly as 14 points. New Orleans did put up a fight this past Sunday before allowing 2 late touchdowns, or giving up 14 points to a 31-19 defeat to the Bills in Buffalo. So, as a result of that, and it was stated yesterday by the league office, rest assured that there will be more changes to the NFL schedule within the weeks to come when it comes to primetime games. And so, again, for all you 49er fans, in case you don't know, the Niners Buccaneers game has been switched. It will be now at 1:25 Pacific Standard Time, not 10 a.m. local time. So that is a little bit of a break. So that means for all of you in the Bay Area or on the West Coast, will not miss your church service on Sunday morning, and that's a good break for me. So I like to go to church and go to church first, and then we'll go, and then so you'll get to see the full game in its entirety. That will be a 1:25 p.m. our time on October the 12th. That will be exactly 12 days from now, when the Niners will take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It'd be a 1:25 kickoff, and I believe that's part of CBS's doubleheader. And I'm assuming, and I don't want to quite jump the gun, not trying to jump the gun, but I'm assuming CBS will have the number 1 team, the veteran Jim Nantz and Tony Romo will be calling that game, along with Tracy Wolfson, and which, by the way, Jim Nantz is celebrating his 40-year anniversary, celebrating 40 years now at CBS. So congratulations to Jim Nantz. Assuming that that pair will be, Nantz and Romo, will get that late game. So once again, for all of you listening out there, the 49ers Tampa Bay Buccaneers game has been switched from a 10 a.m. our time to 1:25 p.m. Pacific for October the 12th. That's a late game, and the Patriots Saints game will be bumped up to the 10 a.m. 1 o'clock Eastern time start, and the Niners and Buccaneers will get that late window. That game will be on CBS October the 12th. and part of the CBS doubleheader. So all of you will not miss church, and get that early mass or early Sunday service, and then the afternoon. So everything works out to the end. So that is really good news. So right now we're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll go back into the 49ers locker room, and we'll hear from the players in the locker room earlier today. Niners preparing to take on the Rams for a showdown for first place in the NFC West. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis, here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios. You are watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. All right, welcome back here on 49ers Live tonight. Professor B, I just posted something on there. I'm going to show it to you right now. Just a reminder that the 49ers Tampa Bay game for Week 6 had been flexed out for its original 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be now switched to 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 12th on CBS. So it'll be the late game, not the morning early game. It was originally part of the morning game, but it's going to be a late start. That will be on CBS, part of the CBS doubleheader, and the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints will flip to that 10 a.m. start. So the Niners, despite their injuries, are still competitive and relevant, and they get a chance to be on a prime time. We'll get a late window. So I think that's good news for 49 fans because the Buccaneers, you get that weight with all that. For the early games, you get that nasty humidity and all that gack and mac and humidity. We've had a lot of humidity out here in the Bay Area, but it's not as bad than out there in the southeast and Tampa. So the 49ers, they're going to get that late window to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 12th, a little more than 12 days from now. That will be the late game on CBS. So we continue now on Niners Radio 49ers Live tonight. Professor B, we now hear from the 49ers locker room, and that's going to be on our next segment. The Niners, the players in the locker room with their thoughts about the game on Sunday against the Rams. We are going to go into the locker room and hear from them. And it begins right now.
How do you feel about him wearing it anyways?
Well, I'm happy. It's always good to see people repping the Tide. So, especially those Georgia boys. It's always good to see them in some Alabama gear.
So what got him to wear it?
They lost. They got beat.
He just pledged to do that if they lost?
Yeah. So usually, how the rivals do. Like we can't bet like what we want to bet. So we'll tell them like, if y'all lose, y'all gotta wear, our attire and vice versa. So they lost, so they gotta wear Alabama gear for the whole day.
Like that. How are you feeling about this week, the Rams, and just kind of where the rushing game is in general?
I'm feeling good about it, and I just feel like we're on the doorstep to just really getting the run game popping, and no better opportunity than this week to just get it popping off.
What have you learned about Christian's work ethic, his game, and just how he attacks everything?
He's very consistent. He shows up to work every single day, and that's the reason why he's who he is and why he's a great player. He's super consistent, and he's always into just sharpening his craft. I've just been able to watch him do that. In the time that I've been here, and it's been good.
Do you guys have to prepare differently at all, considering you don't know who the quarterback is quite yet?
No, I think the preparation stay the same. Like we just got to focus on what's being installed and how we got to do our job. As a team, and regardless of what quarterback is in the game, we got to do our part in the game.
Kind of short week turnaround. What have you noticed so far? What have you done differently so far?
It's a fast tempo. We're learning third down, short yardage at the same time. We're learning first and second down. So trying to just learn the playbook as best as I can, especially going into this week, learning the game plan. So just trying to adapt to it for the short week.
And how are you feeling physically just with the short week too?
Me personally, I feel good. I always make sure to stay on top of my body to make sure I'm good each and every week. So I feel healthy, and I'm ready to go on Thursday.
How do you feel like you're adjusting to the system? I mean, each week you're making a play out there. So how do you feel like you're going and adjusting and progressing within the system?
I feel I'm progressing fast. I feel I'm going out there and playing confident. I feel I got the playbook down. Obviously, there's looks I'm gonna have to learn on the fly, but I feel I'm adjusting fine. I feel I need to play better than what I have been, even though I have been playing good. But I feel I hold myself to a higher standard, so I want to play to that standard.
This is one of the first times you're playing against an older quarterback. Is it sort of a pinch me moment when you see Matt Stafford over there?
I wouldn't say a pinch me moment, but I've been watching him for a long time, so he's been in the game for a long time, so he's gonna find ways to pick me out. So he's a skilled quarterback, and I'm gonna be a skilled DB.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brock and Mac were just talking about the Rams defensive line. I mean, probably from a pass rush perspective, but just the spirit and I guess the relentlessness that they play with. I mean, what sticks out to you when you look at them?
Yeah, I think just that. They play well together. They play hard, not just in pass rush, but in the run game, and they tie it all together. So definitely a big challenge that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
What's the key on a short week to prepare?
I'll just be extremely diligent mentally. Take care of your body, get back to 100% as quick as possible, but just make sure you're continuing to go over everything because there's a lot to install all at once. And just gotta, in order to play sound football in a short week, you just gotta mentally be locked in.
Your first gets cut out of your routine.
Say again?
What gets cut out of your routine?
3 days.
Your first full game with this team, or first game where you had a full week of prep, was down at SoFi, and you had all those touchdowns in different fashions. How busy was that week of preparation and looking back on it in retrospect?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was definitely a blur of a week. It was good to get a full week instead of just 2 days when I first got here for the Chiefs game. So it was great to get a full week, and a lot of credit to Bobby T and a lot of the coaches who helped me get there because it's a lot to install and a lot to learn in a week. But I remember it was a great feeling, great winning locker room after that game, and we had a bye after that too, so I could kind of get my bearings.
Were you surprised that they were even able to install a trick play? given just how hectic that must have been?
No, I mean, that's, those ones are easy to remember. It's they stick out.
Your rushing yards in the way they are right now?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the numbers.
Is it different at all to prepare for a team that you play every year, a couple of years? The coaches have been at each place for a long time. You guys know a lot about each other. Does that make it any easier at all to prepare?
I mean, nothing's, easier necessarily. I just think for, when you play a divisional opponent that you know and they know you, it just comes down to being sound, playing mistake-free football and then mindset.
Christian, I know the answer is you can always be better and improve, et cetera, but I mean, it's another run game question, but I mean, when you look at it, I mean, there often doesn't seem to be tons of room, for you to roam, but do you see opportunities like, should I miss this? Or, I mean, do you put it, like, how much do you think, I don't know, could you be better to help this run game?
Definitely. I think, whether or not you're leading the league in rushing or not, you can always be better. Every runner is going to say the same thing. So I definitely think, we can all be better. I can be better. And, we're close though.
Christian, I saw the clip that you had on George's show where you thought you were going to be traded to the Rams. At that time, was that something that was exciting to you? And then how quick was the emotion to be traded here instead?
It was such a blur, and I had heard so many different things that I tried to just focus on being where my feet were, because I still didn't know whether or not I was going to get traded. Like, I practiced Wednesday and Thursday for the Panthers, and then, I'd heard rumors, but I'm still preparing to play for a team, and so it was kind of a weird, mental situation to be in. And I just said, whatever happens, happens. I stopped reading into, what people were saying and just, whatever was going to happen was going to happen. And obviously when I came here, I was extremely thrilled.
Is it a weird mental space, just a curiosity, to be in when the run game is kind of struggling and then you're coming off a loss going down against a rival? Is it the same there or not really?
You mean like?
Are you like thinking and reflecting on like, what am I, or what can I do to change the way we're producing in the run game, or what can this person do, or what can we do as a team? Are you mentally reflecting on that going into this one?
I think, look, I've had stretches in the run game where I've had like 35 yards rushing, then 40, then 38, and then, it feels like you can't run the ball, and those are in the middle of the season. But the reality of the situation isn't always, that's not always the truth. And sometimes you are just one guy off, or sometimes you are an arm tackle away from breaking a couple long ones, then all of a sudden you have big games, and you just don't know when that's going to happen. So I try to just correct mistakes and capitalize on strengths. But each game is different, and in the run game, each play has a life of its own. And so you can't predict, you can't think that it's going to be one way or another. You have to, treat it as that, treat it as, one play at a time.
Good? Thanks. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I like to be like up to stat one day.
Actually,
Hall of Famers.
I'm a dip right now. Never mind. No, I'm not.
Uh-oh. Here, go ahead. Move
I'm going to try to pull some acrobatics, but it's okay. Sure. Yeah, let's
What's
talk.
the big change in your approach on a short week? Anything change for you?
I guess it's just less days. You got to cram a lot of things into in only a couple days of prep. Getting the body back is number one. Usually takes all 6 days to get ready for get your body ready for a game on the next Sunday. And so, how can you find a way to expedite that process on a short week?
It's better, like if you're going to have a loss like you did Sunday, that it is a short week.
Yeah, of course you'd rather win, on a short week, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it is good to, try to find a way to get that bad taste out of your mouth and, get back right back out there.
You've been watching Puka for a lot of years. How have you seen this game grow from
Something about those BYU guys, man. He so happy for him. Hopefully, this is his worst outing of the year, and it can continue his success later on. But he just does all the little things that most receivers don't, like just as small as getting involved in the run game, the way that he run blocks, the run after catch, when he has great hands to be able to transition when he does catch the ball, and then running through contact. the energy that he plays with, I know is inspirational to his teammates. And so, yeah, man, he's done a phenomenal job just only in a short amount of time.
When you watched this kind of ceiling for him from back when you saw him in college, or just exceeding what you thought he could do?
No, I think nobody could have seen this type of thing. I think the Rams probably saw something in him, but it'd be silly to say that anybody would have thought that he'd be as great as he's been.
Do you know him pretty well?
Yeah, I played with his older brother, Kanakua, at BYU for 3 years. So me and Puka had some conversations right before the draft. Yeah, great kid.
What do you think has enabled him to take what you saw from him in college and translate it to this kind of success in the NFL?
I think a big part of it as a young player is like having the confidence of knowing that you belong. I think that's literally just the start of it all because just speaking from experience, when I came in, it was like so overwhelming playing against guys that I had watched on TV for so long, and it's like, do I really belong? And so for him, I think from day one, he was out there, I think had back-to-back games of like 10-plus receptions. Right, and it was a guy that Matt Stafford could rely on from day one, which spoke to his preparation level. Even having a guy like Matt Stafford rely on him with a guy like Cooper Kupp being out there just spoke to how ready he was for his moment. And he's continued to obviously stay humble and finding ways to get better in his game through his first 3 years.
As far as wide receivers, where does he rank in difficulty to tackle, bring down to the ground? I don't think you've ever had a chance to tackle Debo.
Yeah, no, me and Debo had our little thuds in practice and whatnot, but no, Puka, I truly believe that's one of the things that makes him special is his willingness to seek out contact as a receiver. You don't hear that a lot about receivers around the league, and I think obviously you spoke about Debo, and he's another one of those guys that's not afraid to seek it out. So, yeah, man, I don't know, something about BYU, Polynesian combination, something like that.
Speaking of, are there parallels between, would your former teammates or guys who watch you in college, would they be surprised at the success you've had? Are there parallels between you and Kubiak?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if somebody were to tell me, hey, yeah, I watched Fred at BYU and I knew he'd be good in the NFL. It's like, Puka, was it drafted in the 5th round? It completely speaks to his work and what he's been able to do behind the scenes that people probably don't see. So it's all kudos to him.
Fred, because you mentioned having that moment when you were young of feeling you didn't know if you belonged when you played against guys that you grew up watching, and some guys in the locker room this time around who will be out there with you kind of in the same position. What was it that clicked for you to help you feel like you belonged, and are you having those conversations with them heading into this one?
I mean, it was a matter of just making big plays, in the NFL, to know like, all right, so I know I can do it, and then just the consistency of it all and trying to see how far you could take it. I know a lot of these guys have way more confidence in their abilities than I did back at that time, so they're in a much better position to continue to thrive in our scheme and in what they're doing for our team.
Do you remember your reaction when he was taken by the Rams, and did his brother send you a text or anything, like take it easy on him?
No, I don't remember much. Heck of a player, man. Hopefully, like I said, worst game against us this week. All right, yeah, you got it.
All right, we heard from the 49ers locker room from earlier today from down in Santa Clara. You heard from Brian Robinson, Fred Warner, heard from Christian McCaffrey. This is a big divisional game with the 49ers and Niners taking on the Rams for Thursday Night Football. and that will be 5:20 or 5:15 will be the kickoff time for Thursday Night Football. You can catch it on Amazon Prime, and I believe the game will be on, and for all 49er fans in the Bay Area, that game will be on KTVU Fox 2, Fox affiliate in the Bay Area on Channel 2, Thursday Night Football. And then what's going to end up happening? What's going to end up happening tomorrow, or what's going to end up happening on? We'll have another podcast show tomorrow, and then we'll have our behind the enemy line segment. Hear from Rams head coach Sean McVay and the Rams players, and tomorrow we hopefully will have our segment. We'll have 49ers tailgate. We'll have our 49ers tailgate show, or a second show. I will be pacing that up. Should be having up online tonight or tomorrow, hopefully. So when I get done with this podcast, and then Friday we'll have a special edition of 49ers Live, the Friday edition of the Aftermath. The special Friday edition 49ers Live, the Aftermath. We hopefully could be talking about Victory Friday. It'd be a good way to get a W, head on off for the mini bye week for the weekend. And we'll have our regular post-game show immediately after the Niners and Rams game Thursday night. We will be on location. I believe we're going to be back down at the Kezar Pub, and we'll be giving you that after the game. So that is pretty much it. Just again, in case you just missed it, and I didn't know about it until yesterday. Oh, by the way, I just like to apologize yesterday because of I was doing a satellite digital media podcast on the firing of Bob Melvin yesterday. Because of the link to that, we were not able to do 49ers Victory Monday because it was a link that I was just burnt out. I was just tired, so we apologize for the inconvenience, but we will have a Friday show recapping of hopefully be a Victory Friday when the Niners beat the Rams. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching tonight. Again, in case you just tuning in, after when the Niners play the Buccaneers on October the 12th, that game has originally on CBS slated for the 10 a.m. start, has been pushed back or been flexed out of that early window for the late window at 1:25. It'll be 1:25. It's not 10 a.m. our time. It's 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it'll be the late window, 4:25 Eastern Standard Time for that window. And I believe CBS does have that doubleheader. And I think, assuming that both Nance and Romo will have that game, so we'll call that game in 12 days time. So we thank you for watching, and then after that, the Niners' next home game will be coming up against the Atlanta Falcons. That will be Sunday for Sunday Night Football. That will be more than 3 weeks coming on the 19th. That will be on the 19th on the Peacock on NBC. That will be a 5:20 p.m. kickoff time, and the exclusive network home of Super Bowl 60. To purchase tickets, individual tickets for the game, go to Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com. Ticketmaster.com, the official ticket partner of the San Francisco 49ers. Well, that's going to be a wrap for tonight. I'd like to thank you all for staying up late wherever you are watching 49ers Live tonight with yours truly, Professor B. I'm getting ready to check out, to wrap it up right now. And for all the latest news on 49ers News, as always, go to 49ers.com. All the video footage is courtesy by 49ers.com and 49ers Studio. For now, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis, and signing off, and so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight with yours truly, Professor B, on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live tonight is exclusive by Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team has a fan and every fan has a voice, the network home of champions. And I'd like to wish all of you a very, very pleasant good evening. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.